Hello everyone. Hello Greetings. Welcome back to our English first additional language lessons with Miss Lichuti. Thank you so much for subscribing and growing the family together. I'm just going to do this short video to share the nuggets with you on how to approach paper 3, but I believe that you have went through teaching of various transactional text, because at the stage and time of the year it's expected from your good selves to know all the transactional pieces. I believe that you have done them at your respective schools with your educators, and then today I'm just going to give you those important nuggets on how to navigate the paper as your final paper, the first paper that you'll be writing for your final examination for the academic year 2024. And once more, I wish you all the best. May the good Lord shower you with nothing but grace. May he be with all of you, guide and protect you. Put in the necessary hard work. Now with that said, paper 3 is a make or break for your English final mark, simply because it carries the bulk of the marks. Okay, and I've heard people having false perception that you can easily go and write paper 3 without preparation, because simply because it's creative writing. Of course, we do not write the same because our creative abilities are not the same, but it's important to prepare to prepare in terms of writing, studying the different structures and format of various transactional text. Now let us go through and let me break down the structure of your paper. Your paper consists of 3 sections. We've got section A, we've got section B, and section C. Pardon me, my dog is barking. Okay, pardon me for that. Section A, which is your essay, that's where the bulk of the marks are. It's 50 marks, and then the required number of words is 250 to 300 words. Now, I've heard these questions over and over again. Ma'am, is it necessary for us to show planning? Ma'am, is it necessary for us to have the first draft? Ma'am, is it really necessary for us to stick to the required number of words? Please don't let anyone fool you or mislead you. The number of words at the marking center are actually verified before marking of your paper. So it is therefore you cannot get away with the effect of exceeding the required number of words. Your essay should not exceed 300 words in FAL, that is first additional language. Please adhere to the required number of words. I'm repeating, words are verified prior marking of your paper. All right. And then with regard to planning, grade 12s, don't be lazy. Planning is also important, because when you study the rubric that it is going to be used to mark your paper, it has that component that says content and planning. That's where educators or markers are going to now award you marks accordingly. Okay, now with that said, it means that you must also budget time. Don't find yourself when an invigilator says time up, uh you find that you are not even nearing the end of your paper. Remember, you cannot afford to lose any marks. You cannot afford to tamper with paper 3 or any other paper for that matter. Each and every question paper and subject is actually vital. Right, with that said, evidence of planning in the form of mind map is needed for all the transactional text that you are going to write. Okay, and your a longer transactional 120 to 150 words, shorter transactional 80 to 100 words. For the last time, do not exceed the required number of words. Now, learners, or should I call you candidates? Candidates, when you know, I believe you know yourself better. You know where your strength and your weaknesses lie, right? With regard to approaching an essay, I cannot box you to say, do this, don't do that. What I can share is the tips that can make your essay to be a very, I would say, an exceptional written piece. Okay. However, if you know that you are not strong in arguing, don't choose an argumentative essay. How do you know that is an argumentative essay? Once an examiner says, as the use of cell phones is disruptive in classrooms, do you agree? It means it's either you are arguing for or you are arguing against. Or the examiner can say, discuss your view. It means both negative and positive must be balanced. Okay. Or you can choose what I normally say, it's a simpler essay, which is a narrative essay. However, narrative essay can also have features of descriptive essay, because in narrative, not only are you narrating, you can describe the place, you can describe the emotions, you can describe the interactions, you can describe the car, the objects that are there in the story. Now that becomes a combination kind of an essay. Not forgetting that you also have pictorial essay, those who are able to deduce a topic by just looking at an image, and then from that image now write an essay based on that image. I'm repeating, use your strength, check where your strength is, and then target the type, if not the form of essay that comes natural for you and that is quite easier for you. Now when you write your essay, as I've taught you when teaching of narrative essay, it's important to also identify your topic. If it's 1.2, 1.3, 1.5, identify the topic. Okay, start with your mind map, budget time, write your first draft. However, don't spend more time writing your draft and now becoming frustrated when you have to polish your draft. Why is it important to follow all the steps of process writing? I know it sounds very tedious, right? But it's important to follow all the steps of process writing so that you can proofread and edit your work before you finalize it. You have and then to err on the side of caution, to avoid losing marks unnecessarily, where you are committing errors, grammatical errors and spelling errors unnecessarily. Okay, right. So I'm saying it for the last time. Evidence of planning must be there for all the transactional pieces, section A, section B, section C. Okay. When you write your essay, the topic again, it says the use of cell phone is destructive in classrooms. Now you start your introduction. Yes, the use of cell phones is disruptive. Why are you repeating the topic? Do not repeat the topic. Okay? There's no need for you to repeat the topic. You have already identified the topic. There are many ways to write a thought-provoking, intriguing, interesting topic. You can start with a fact. You can start with a quote. You can start with a saying. You can start with a proverb. You can start with an idiom. I believe I did that when I was teaching you how to write a narrative essay. Okay, you can start, for an example, by saying that it is proven that 9 out of 10 learners have failed due to the lack of concentration in class by simply looking at their cell phones or spending greater portion of their time looking at the cell phones. You have opened your essay with what effect? Okay, you can maybe when you narrate your story to say it never rains but pours. Now I can hear that I can have a sense of what is that you are going to narrate. Maybe it's a sad story, because once you say it never rained but pours, it means that one, it's facing quite a number of challenges, if not problems. Okay, and I'm repeating, there are many ways, not only methods that are not only limited to what I'm sharing with you at the moment. Okay, avoid lengthy sentences where sentence starts from line 1, it ends at line 8, there's no punctuation, nothing, simply because, and I know why, or what prompts you to actually end up having complex or run-on sentences, is because as and when you are writing, the ideas are coming through. Now you want to filter all of them and write quickly. Punctuation is important. That comma, that full stop, that semicolon, punctuation marks play a vital role in writing. So you need to observe and make use of punctuation marks, because if you do not punctuate, your essay tend to lose meaning. And that's where you tend to also commit a number of language errors, simply because you have missed to do what, to punctuate accordingly. All right. And then also check tense and spelling. You can use quite a number of tenses. For an example, a simple past tense joined with past continuous tense, depending on what is that you are narrating, the events that you are narrating. But as and when you write your essay, try to use I would say tips that advances your writing skills. And we cannot write the same. I'm not saying that our essays will be the same, right? One can argue, and in arguing you can throw in an idiom that is relevant to what you are discussing. Imagine I say it never rains but pours, only to find that I'm talking about a beautiful day where we were just laughing and whatsoever. Then it's confusing. Why use such an idiom, whereas it does not really match with the contents of your essay? All right, and proofread, proofread, proofread. Okay, do not panic. Don't panic. Take time, and do not panic. Okay. And then when you narrate, like I've said, it's easier to close with your topic than starting with it. All right. And avoid the repetition of the topic over and over in your essay. If you have chosen it there at the bottom, we know that what is that we are going to talk about. Okay. And then please make sure again that you choose a topic that is best suitable for you, and that you it becomes easier for you to tackle. When you get to section B and section C, let me share with you the mistakes that you make. You rush to write that letter, or you rush to write that diary entry without fully reading what is that the examiner said you must write a letter about. That's where candidates lose marks. You know the structure and format of a letter, but you miss the marks because the contents of your letter are actually irrelevant, simply because you are not addressing the key concepts or the key words of the question. The examiner said that write a letter to your friend who's already enrolled at the university studying medicine, that you also envisage to go and study medicine, but you are a bit conflicted, so you want an advice from your friend. Now you spend a greater portion of your time writing a letter about your friend, asking him or her about her whereabouts, how is she, how is his family members and whatsoever. You already are going to reach the number of the maximum required number of words without addressing the content or with the key concept of the question. Already after greeting, keep your greetings short and sweet. Now go to the merits of the question to say, friend, I'm a bit conflicted, as I also want to, and it has always been my dream to follow into the medicine field. I am, however, conflicted. Can you kindly advise me on what is that I need to do? How should I apply? Where do I need to start? Already address the key concept of the question. If you write obituary, like I have taught you in our previous videos, please ensure that you pay tribute to the deceased. Make sure that tense is important when writing an obituary. Don't find yourself writing an obituary now. We are mixing tenses. We don't know whether the deceased is still alive or the deceased has passed on. Make language and tense is it's very crucial when writing, so that you don't find yourself now having an irrelevant response. And again, good people, you have studied various transactional pieces. When you go to the exam room, you should be knowing the kind of text or pieces that you are. I would say, I don't want you guys to become lazy, but I need to be honest. Choose a topic, not only a topic, but the format and structure that you understand. If you know that you are not strong at writing a book review, target a dialogue. Because what I love about paper 3 is that examiners are giving you a choice. It's not like you are being given only one question. You are given a choice to write newspaper article, to write maybe an email, to write a dialogue. You are given a choice. Target something that, don't write what your friend is writing. Write what is best suited for you, okay? And then knowing that, follow the correct format and structure. If it's a letter, let me see that it's a letter before even reading the contents. Your addresses must be correct, grade 12. So you cannot afford to fail a simple thing such as writing of an address. Okay, if it's a formal letter, let be that topic, the tone and register that you are using in a formal letter must indicate to me that this is a formal letter where you do not use contractions. As well as in an essay, you're not supposed to use contractions, which are shortened words using an apostrophe mark, such as can't, don't, instead of saying do not, cannot. Okay, do not use contractions at all. And I'm repeating again, there must be evidence of planning across all the sections where you have your mind map. Okay, and then people will say, but ma'am, when I write a letter, what kind of mind map am I going to write? You write the details. You write bulletins of details that you're going to use to say two addresses, um asking for a friend advice, and also if you plan all this in a form of a skeleton. We are creating a skeleton, and now when you transfer that skeleton, you add meat into it by now writing accordingly. Make use of logical connectors. If you feel that you still want to sustain your idea, or to say to substantiate further, or or add more information to what you have already said, instead of starting all the sentences in the same way, add logical connectors so that you don't sound like a broken record. You know, you can imagine if you say, uh, learners are failing due to the use of cell phones in class. You write all the arguments, and then again you're starting every sentence. Yes, learners are, already we know that learners are failing due to the use of cell phones in class. Okay, there's no need for you to repeat that. There are quite a number of ways that you can do rather use to sustain your ideas, such as the use of logical connectors. And I do have a video on how to use logical connectors. It's very much important. Such as, furthermore, additionally, on the other hand, these are logical connectors you can use to sustain your arguments. You do the same when you get to your shorter transactional text. If you are writing an invitation in your mind map, write all the details that are needed for an invitation, such as date, time, the kind of event, RSVP, and so forth. And make sure that your invitation has all the details. I must not now wonder, where is this? What is the event about? Again, even when you write an invitation, don't say you just look at an invitation, then you fail to read what is it the examiner said you must invite people to, because that's where you fail. The format and structure will be correct, but the content will be incorrect, because you have just because you became excited by just seeing an invitation question, you did not address the merits of the question. Okay, so please interpret question accordingly. Bear in mind language use, spelling, sentence construction, and choose the pieces that are best suitable for you. Prepare, prepare. Look into your vocabulary, and do not panic. Check time allocation. Don't find yourself not finishing because paper 3 is important. Actually, all the exam papers are important. And once more, I wish you all the best of luck. Don't forget to use our playlist of creative writing playlist to look into ways on how to uh, write various transactional pieces. Go and nail that paper, and we shall meet once more to discuss paper 1 and paper 2 approaches. Thank you.